Hi everybody, it's Diana with StampingWithDi.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a twist. This is actually the card that I had planned to do last week or the week before, and then I realized I didn't have the right die, so now I do, so I could not wait to do this card. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So I come to you on Mondays with my Mimeograph Monday with a twist. Basically, I'm going to be doing a card or a project out of one of the catalogs, and then I do it how I think it was done in the catalog, and then I do a twist. So I'll be doing two projects. Tuesdays, I come to you with my Teach Me Tuesdays, and then Friday I do a dies shorts, and then Saturday I do just like a quick little video that I speed out from before, just to kind of maybe you're new to my channel and it just maybe that draws your attention to something that you might have missed. So whenever you spend some time with me, I appreciate it. I will be watching live with you. Oh, let me look. Let me see. Hang on a minute. I'm looking at my calendar. Yes, because I do have to get a root canal this week. So I want to say that one of the days that I usually am watching live with you, I will be getting a root canal. So that's why I was like, oh, is that tomorrow or is that the next day or whatever. So I will be watching live with you in the chat today. So if you have any questions at all, just ask over there. I love all the friendships that are growing and blossoming over there. People are getting to know each other, and people are like, hi Linda, hi Jane. It's so fun to see the community growing, so I really appreciate that. If you are watching like a replay and you have any questions, just ask them below. YouTube will let me know that you've made a comment or a question, and then I can reach out to you and answer your question if need be. All right, I am going to stop blabbing so we can get on with the show. And so close your eyes just for a second while I adjust my camera. Okay, that looks pretty good. So as you can see by the DSP, we're going to be working with the Beary Christmas. So this is the Beary Christmas 12 by 12 DSP. And it is super cute and fun. It's 12 by 12, and then I just have, these are just the little logo bags. So once I cut my paper, then I stick it in the little logo bag like this. And then I know to go to this before I cut up another full sheet. So I just stick that in there, and it just lays on top of the full sheets in my cabinet, and it just keeps me a little organized. I like to be organized. So we're going to be using this paper. All right, we're also going to be using the, here it is, the Beary Cute. So it's the super cute little stamp set. So it's a Beary Cute, and it is a bundle. So it has a matching punch. So see, it has that punch. So it punches out this little bear here. You still have to fussy cut out the other, little things, but it's super easy to do. All right, so we're going to use that. And then here is the Merriest Tree. So this is the die that I needed. This big one here, and then this is the, what would you call them? The reinforcers that go on the tag. So see, it's like a nice big tag, and I totally missed that I needed that when I picked out this card to do last week. But we're doing it today, so yay, all is good. All right, so let me see here. So I got my recipe. So here's my little recipe. Now, the catalog isn't live yet. So as soon as it goes live, and that will be on the 6th, then I will put that on my blog, and you'll be able to get the recipes then. It might not happen immediately, but just the 6th or after, you'll see that. All right, so let me get my pieces here. So I did some of the stuff ahead of time. So what I want to do is I took my Balmy Blue, just a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock, and I glued some of the Designer Series paper on the bottom. This is some more of that Designer Series paper, and I just cut these cute little trees out. So I glued that on top of this as well, and I just used the green tip glue, the Tombow Multi. I just have it in this little container, but I glued it, you know, pretty secure onto the Balmy Blue paper. And then what I did was, then I ran it through my cut and emboss machine. So you can see that tag shape, and then that gives you this right here. So it gives you this cute little tag all ready to go. All right, so let's bring this over because I also used this. So this is a Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. So can you see there's like snow and like snowflakes as well as dots of snow on there. So what I did was, it's on this Designer Series paper right here. So you can see that in the background. And what happens is, you can kind of see the white paper coming through as it goes through the machine. Now if you wanted, you could probably take like a sanding block, and you could probably rub that, and then you would see that white even more coming through. Okay, so that's what I used to get there. So we also want, this is, hang on a minute, I have a piece of scrap. I want to make sure I don't stamp on my scrap. Yep, this is my scrap paper. Okay, so we want to stamp our cute little bear. Now the recipe didn't say pecan pie, but when I'm looking at it in the catalog, I'm like, okay, that bear looks like he's in a different color, so I'm choosing pecan pie only because this is a color that's in the Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to assume that the artist that you know, made this card for the catalog used that DSP, you know, as a reference to use what color. All right, so we have our little bear. And so I'm going to do our bear with the pecan pie, or pecan, wherever you live. All right, so we've got our cute little bear. Now we also have our stitched circle, and that has warm wishes. So again, I'm using the pecan pie with warm wishes right on there. And it did say real red, and that's good because the cute little bear has a scarf on it. So this scarf is part of that stamp set. So we're going to put real red on here, and I'm going to hope to line it up with the camera in the way. Hang on a minute. Let's see, that looks pretty good. Cute. Look at that scarf. Doesn't that make that bear look so adorable? Okay. All right, so let's see. I want these to dry before I start to mess with them too much. So what I'll do is I will do other parts of the card while I let that dry. It's still warm in Arizona, still a little humid, so I find that my inks are a little more juicy than normal, and they take just a tad bit longer to dry. So there's plenty I can do for this card while that's happening. All right, so this is just a piece of that same Berry Christmas Designer Series paper. And I'm going to put it on the inside of the card, and usually I put it on the bottom, but this time I'm going to put it on the edge here. Like that. Okay. I also have my tag, and here's that little reinforcer, and it's that same paper that came from here. And it's so cute because it has that little score line, so you can get it all scored nice and even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my green tip glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit of the green tip glue, the Tombow Multi, just on the inside here. Just a couple dots around. And then I'm simply going to pick up my tag and line up my hole and line up my top score and close it. And now you have this cute little reinforced tag, and if you can see it's got stitches. I just love anything with stitches. Oh my gosh. So this, and I can't believe I missed this die, because sometimes I will buy dies and not get the stamp set because they have some cute things in there. So you don't have to get the stamp set if you don't like it. But like I said, some of the dies are just adorable and you don't need the stamp set. All right, so we have this and this. Now here is our Night of Navy. So we have Night of Navy as our card base. So let me give that a good crease with my bone folder. And then this is that embossed paper that I was talking about. And this is just going to get glued right on here. And I'm going to use my green tip glue, my Tombow, because it's going to give me a little wiggle room to get that right in place. Okay. So let's drop this on here like that. So if I'd have used the seal, as soon as that paper touched the other cardstock, it would be stuck. And then if I didn't get it in the right spot, I would be up a crick. So this way, the green tip glue is just a little better and allows you a little bit of wiggle room if you need it. All right, so we also have on this card, we have some real red cardstock and we have some more of that DSP. So we're going to take this real red, and I'm going to make like a banner, like a fishtail. So I'm going to cut up the center, and then I'm going to come from this edge here over to the center, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And what that does is it makes that fishtail or that banner. I'm going to do the same thing here. Let me do this side. So from the edge, this is a little harder to see with the Designer Series paper pattern. So cut. So now we have our cute little banners, and they go on the card. All right. So I'm going to use the Tombow just because we've got all these bumps, and I want to make sure that it gets in all the nooks and crannies. So the green tip glue is good for that. All right, so we're going to put this on here. This comes down a tad like that, and then just try to make sure that, you know, this looks even here along there. And then the same thing, we're going to do green tip glue with our green. And this just staggers this. It kind of goes over top of this one. And again, I'm just making my edges kind of be the same there. Okay. Then just open up your card and use this card to trim off the tops here, so that the tops of our banners or our flags, whatever you call them, match the card. So there you have these cute little banners on here. Let's see, while I'm doing some gluing, let's put the inside of the card in just to get it out of the way. I love this paper. I need to get more of this. I could only order so many during the Demonstrator pre-order. But as soon as the 6 come, yay, everybody can order. All right, so we have our cute little tag. So this tag is going to go on here. But before I put it on here, we're going to use some of the new, this is the Balmy Blue Sparkle Ribbon. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, it is so gorgeous. And I'm going to cut myself that much of it. And we want this in the tag. Like that. So I just, you know, put it in the tag. Now I'm going to put this on the card with glue dots. Here we are. So put a couple glue dots. Because I'm going to put my bear and my greeting on the tag with dimensionals. So I don't want too many dimensionals on the card, but I wanted this to have just a tiny little bit of dimension. Alright, so this guy's going to go over here like that. I'm like looking at my card. And I think, to be honest, these I cut at 2" and I think I really should have cut them at probably 1.5 inches or smaller. But it's good enough. Okay. Now this is loose, right? Because I just put it in here. So I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm just going to pick this up with my pick tool and lay that down there. And then that'll just glue those. Oh, unless it sticks to my finger. Hang on a minute. There we go. There we go. So now it's stuck together. And they kind of have it going off to the side like that. So now we want our bear. Just take your punch and punch out our bear. Okay. And we're going to put him on with dimensionals. And I'm using these from a kit, so it looks like a totally different shape than we're used to. Alright, so we have our cute little bear. And he's just walking across here. And then we have our greeting. It's going to go here. Just like that. So super cute and super quick. So look how fun that is. Alright. So now let's get to my twist card. So the twist card, I wanted to use some different designer series paper. Let me get this while I gab to you a little bit. I'm going to clean up some of my mess. So I wanted to use some different designer series paper. So I got out my one horse open sleigh paper. And I wanted to use it instead. So I still like the Night of Navy because Night of Navy goes with that one horse open sleigh. So let's crease our card so you can kind of see what I have here. Alright, so this is just the inside of my card. And this time I'm going to put the strip along the bottom. And this pattern paper of the one horse open sleigh kind of reminded me of Polar Bear Land. Doesn't that look like Polar Bear Land? Like maybe they would live there. So that's why I chose it. Because this piece, this is along the bottom of this card. I just trimmed it off the bottom to use this. Even looks like it has like rocks and stuff that maybe the polar bears would climb on. I don't know if they would climb on that or not. Alright, so we have in our envelope, I want to make sure I have all my pieces out of here. Hold on a second. Alright, so we have this guy, and he's going to go on the inside of the card, and I'm just going to use my green tip. What's cool is, I should have showed you part before I slathered the glue on there, that when you cut this out on the back side, it's got the shape of the polar bear, But it reminds me of almost like an Eskimo carving kind of thing. But isn't that cool? Alright. So we have our cute little polar bear in there. So that's just going to go on the inside of the card. Just that it wasn't plain. And I cannot not use these cute little polar bears. And these are from the Designer Series paper. Because a few of the polar bears on the Designer Series paper you can punch out with the punch, like this little guy with the cute little sweater on. Alright, but I loved using this tag, right? So I wanted to use that again. So we're going to put this Designer Series paper, we're just going to back it with some white. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is 3 3/4 by 5. And those are kind of like the standard measurements that I use when I do cards. That's that 1/4 of an inch, right? Around. Sometimes I do smaller, but that's generally what I go to. Alright, so we have our cute little our scenery here. So then I cut out my tag on, you know, on a different piece. I mean, I could have cut it out here, but then I'd have that hole there. And I'm not necessarily putting this where it belongs. I'm just, you know, sticking it, but it might not be exact. Like if it was exact, it would be, I think, kind of over here more. So anyways, I didn't want to have to worry too much about that. Alright, I also wanted to use some different ribbon. So the ribbon I'm using is the Real Red and Garden Green combo pack. And you can see I'm almost out of that red. Alright, so we're going to put this in here. Now I didn't reinforce this one. So this is just going to go up like this. Now this time I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. So what do you think so far? Are you excited for the September to December mini catalog to go live? I know I am. I have to get my order placed pronto on the 6th for all my fall social stuff. So I can get that in and start getting things worked on. Alright, so this is what I mean by I'm not necessarily trying to line up those trees. I just kind of want to line up my my scenery. And if it doesn't line up perfect, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Because the little bear's on there, so you're more or less looking at the bear. But look how cute that is. It just kind of like finishes it up. Alright, so let's trim this a tad. And instead of gluing that and leaving this like loose like I did with the other one, I'm going to take some white baker's twine. Now this comes from the, you can tell I've got a bunch of short ones on here. This comes from the multi-pack. So you have black and gray and white. And so this is just the baker's twine that's in the catalog, and I just put it on the wooden spool. Alright, so I'm just going to tie this around the red like that, in a little bow. So this is going to keep that ribbon from going anywhere, and then I didn't have to put a glue dot on it, but it just gives that little flare. And then I usually just turn it upside down so that those tails hang, and then I just go snip, snip like that. We're also going to need to snip these because these are too long. Alright, but look how cute that is. Alright, so let's bring our bear over. And this time I'm going to stamp my Warm Wishes or whatever it is. Let me wash it first. This time I'm going to stamp it in the Real Red because we've got red going on with our ribbon. We've got red going on with our bear because he's got red in his sweater. So I wanted to have red on my greeting. So I should have did this earlier, so it could have been drying, but that's all right. That goes there. We close these ink pads. Now I didn't put anything stamp-wise on the inside. I just put that polar bear, but if you wanted, like, because I did my my whatchamacallit, my one horse open sleigh note card and envelopes class. So those all went out, video got all the way done, and I was explaining to them, if you know when you're making a card, if whether it be a Christmas, a birthday, any card at all, when you're making it, if you know who it's going for, definitely finish the card. You know, get all the bells and whistles and the address and all that good stuff. What you can do, if you know ahead of time birthdays, you can make the cards and put them in the month. So if you have birthdays coming up in November, you could make those cards now and just stick them inside your calendar, and where the stamp goes, you could write, you know, the birth date, and then you would know when to mail that to Jane or whatever. And that will just help you, you know, be organized. But, so I was explaining, if you know what you're doing with the cards, get them all done. But if you don't, then I like to leave them plain on the inside, because I might want to add a personal little note to that person when I get to send it. So, so sometimes I don't, a lot of times I don't stamp anything on the inside. I like the little guy in here, because that's just, doesn't this look like he's just walking along the water or whatever? All right, so we're going to do our warm wishes just like we did before, just tuck behind the cute little bear, just like that. And that is the card. So isn't that adorable? Isn't that so cute? Now, speaking of that one horse open sleigh, I did cut a couple extra packs. So if you missed that class, make sure you reach out. If you live in the United States and you need it, let me know, because I have a couple that are ready to go. All right, so let me show you the catalog version. So here's the catalog version and my twist. So I love them both. They are basically the same card, but they totally look totally, and the word of the day is totally different, just because the designer series paper. All right, so here's the one I did earlier, so you can see, you know, this little guy has the red sweater on. So I think they're cute. What do you think? All right, so let me say see you later. Oh, see you later, alligator. All right, so much fun. So yeah, so make sure you always check those dies out, even if you do go, oh, I don't want that stamp set or whatever. Always look at the dies, and I should know better, right? I should know better, and I didn't, but now I have it. Ha ha ha. All right, so I'm going to stop blabbing. Have a great night. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. And if you ever want me to do something in particular, I have a few people that I have put little post-it notes in the catalog in order to do a Mimeograph Monday with a twist. Sometimes you ask for things I don't own, so that I can't do it, but I still put your name in the catalog just in case, you know, down the road I get it. But yeah, always reach out and let me know what you think. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. All right, so have a great night, and I'll see you Tuesday. All right, bye for now.